Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Elijah with Midnight Drive Media. I've had a lot of people ask me what my post-production workflow is, and so I decided to make this little video. I've never done it's not, okay, first off, this isn't a tutorial. It's just a brief overview of how I throw a video together. So I've never done anything like this, and I didn't practice either, so bear with me. I'll make it as short and to the point as I can. So let's jump into it. So recently we did a Kickstarter video for Hot Seats, which is a hair appliance product, and so that's what I'm going to be using to show you. Let's jump into Premiere here. Yeah, let's just load up here. Start with this guy. So the first thing we do is we use Premiere. We use Final Cut Pro X sometimes, but Premiere Pro has really kind of switched to our primary NLE. It does a lot more for us nowadays than Final Cut does. But so we get rid of this here. The first thing we do is we take all of our original footage and we drag it onto a timeline. And we record audio separately onto the Zoom H4n or whatever field recorder we're using that day. And so all of our video and audio are separate. So we bring those into a timeline. And this is where normally the huge headache comes into play, is syncing audio. But something that's awesome is we use a program called Pluralize. And what's great about the new version of it is it works right within Premiere Pro. This is Premiere Pro CC. And so all we do at this point, just because you can, well, let me play it for a second here. All this audio is just crappy, and so let's solo just the camera audio.
Rest their hot curling iron on a towel. I tripped over my own lip.
You can see it's just
Hot seats.
It's really crappy, and then this is our good quality audio.
Curling iron on a towel, and
it sounds way better. So we got to sync it though. So what we do is, you don't actually have to select anything. We just click Pluralize, and right here within Premiere Pro, it sends it over to Pluralize, gets all the information. You can see here's our video track with the original audio, and then here's our audio recorded separately. All you do is click Synchronize, and boom, is done. And you can watch it and make sure it's all synced, but once you're done, click Export Timeline, and then it's awesome. Pluralize is worth its weight in gold, that's for sure. So then it makes you a new sequence that has perfectly synced audio with all of your good quality audio.
on your curling iron, it usually gets in the way.
So that saves us tons and tons of time. Highly recommend Pluralize. It's amazing. The new Premiere Pro has an audio sync feature in it like this. I've never used it because we had Pluralize before we got CS6 or Creative Cloud. So I'm not sure how well that works, but Pluralize is just absolutely flawless so far every time I've used it. So there's that, and then from here we have all of our synced footage. So we literally, let's see, you can see there's about almost 50 minutes worth of footage here, and so we just go through, we zoom in a little bit, and then when there's a clip we like, we just cut it out, delete everything around it, and just start filtering that way through all the footage, which is kind of the tedious process. And so then let's jump back over to this other guy here. Once that's all done, then we get kind of something like this, where it's just a bunch of clips that are, pretty good takes that we like, but aren't edited together yet. And so from there is usually when I like to, it kind of depends when I color correct. Usually I do it about this stage when I have a lot of the good clips I need. It depends on, how much processing power I want my computer to have to go through. because the more it's edited, the less it'll have to render out once it's color corrected. But I recently discovered in DaVinci you can actually put frame handles, which is awesome. That allows for a cushion for editing in between each take. I'm rambling, sorry. I'm trying my best not to go into the technical mumbo jumbo, and still get you a good idea of how we get through the process. So yeah, we use DaVinci Resolve. This is 10 for color correcting. It's a very intricate program. There's a lot to it, but it's so powerful. It's amazing. So what we do is we export XMLs from Premiere Pro and drag them into Resolve. And then let me pull a sequence here. And then we begin our color correcting process. Let me grab another sequence. Where's Deborah? Here we go. So then here we have all of our clips somewhere. Where did they go? There it is. My computer is recording the screen, so it's kind of not liking all this processing, I think. It's kind of slowing it down a little bit. So anyway, basically, without getting into much detail, we color correct in layers, as they call it, nodes. And here's the nodes. And so the first step, we didn't really white balance this shot very well. It's kind of could have been better in camera, but that's okay. So the first node we just correct the white balance, put a little bit of a green and a blue S curve to get you see our scopes here, to get our reds, greens, and blues and our waveforms looking real nice and neat and even. And so then once the white balance is right, we just start adding a little bit of contrast on that layer. That layer's kind of brings out the background a little bit. And the final layer brings out some saturation in her skin. And so that's the difference there, before and after. It's pretty drastic. And so then once we have a set that we like, we save it to a preset, and then we just drag it onto all the other clips and make minor adjustments when we need to. Let me jump over and grab another sequence here to show you a little better of. So yeah, here it's the same thing. We have our that's our final shot. That's what we start with right there. And so same thing, get the white balance right, and we look at our scopes, all of our technical mumbo jumbo. Make sure everything looks pretty good, pretty even. That's the first step, and that's just the white balance. And then we just start adding in, correcting it a little more, adding in some contrast. And so then that's the final look. That's original. Oh, and out of our camera, we shoot CineStyle, which is basically a picture form. It's a preset on your camera that makes everything super flat and gives you a lot more post-production control. So that looks flat and ugly, and then when we're done, it looks nice and bright and nice. I said nice twice. And so, real quick, another awesome thing about Resolve is the ability to use masks. So for example, in this shot over here, that's the original. And when she lifts the curling iron off the towel, you can see the burn, but it's so flat that it just doesn't, you can't really tell very well. So same thing, we fix the white balance, start adding in some layers of correction. And so there it looked pretty good, but I wasn't super happy with it. And so what I did, because the burn just kind of looked brown and not very good, it just wasn't showing up as good as it was in person. So what I did is I drew a mask around it, and then, which is this node right here, and then motion tracked that mask, which is another really awesome thing about Resolve. And so there you can see it play through. The mask goes over that, and it follows it really well. The tracker in here does really well. You can probably hear that water. There's a water pipe in my room, and so anytime someone turns the water on, there it goes. Sounds like a waterfall. So yeah, and then what I did with that was within the mask, I just added some darkness and made it look better. So it really made that burn stand out, which is what we were going for. So that's pretty much it, the color correcting process. That's another pretty tedious part about it, but it's crucial in making a video look good. And so jump back into Premiere. Our XMLs we bring back into Premiere, so then all of our replaced footage is already there and color corrected, which is another awesome thing about DaVinci. So right here you can see an example. That's the original shot, and then our color corrected layer is there. So it looks a lot better. So then once that's color corrected, we have all these now that would be color corrected, and then we just start editing it together until we get something like this that's thrown together that we like.
Hello Kickstarter, I'm Deborah with Pretty Neat Ideas.
This is the one I was looking for.
Deborah with Pretty Neat Ideas. We make hot seats. Finally, a safe and convenient.
So it's pretty good. Another thing I did is this bottom layer here is the song that goes over it. So every time her voice comes in, I mix the audio to allow you to hear her better. And when her voice goes away, the song gets louder.
Pretty Neat Ideas.
So this is kind of what the final draft looks like once we're done editing everything. Here is a big old tower of layers I did for this text at the end here. It's got these swirls that come in. So that's pretty much it. And then once we're done, we just export media. And like I said, this isn't a tutorial, so we're not getting into any of the technical stuff. There's a lot to know about these programs. But if you know how to use them well, they're really powerful. So there's a lot of presets here. YouTube for internet codec, I do start with the preset for YouTube, and then I come down here and turn the bit rates up to around 20. Makes it look a little better. Makes the file bigger though too. So we just kind of play around with that till we get a quality that we like. And that's it. So I hope this answered a lot of your questions, and hope it wasn't too long. 13 minutes. Wow. I'm not very good at these, but I'll get better. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to holler at us at you can get us at our Facebook page, facebook.com/midnightdrivemedia or midnightdrivemedia.com, whatever you prefer. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about the actual workflow or want to know how to do something in particular that I didn't cover on here, shoot me a message and I'll try to answer your questions as best I can. So anyway, yeah, I say a lot. So yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting something, but that is the general overview of our workflow. And this video was on the simple side. We use After Effects for a lot of the more kind of intricate videos that need a lot of special effects and stuff like that. But so I hope you found it fun or useful or interesting or something. But that's that. So I'll talk to you guys later.